Welcome back to Tetris Tuesdays at 10. I swear to you, that leaf blower was not here 5 seconds ago. So if you hear that man and or woman, I apologize. Also because I don't think I knew entirely what I was getting myself into this week. So, Shai, if you're out there, I thought about you and your question last week. How many more Java games do we have to go? Taking a break from Java. Last week we did the EA Mobile, or one EA Mobile Java game, and I'm still trying to track down 1 out of 3. I've got 2 of them. So there will be more Java games to come, don't worry. But we did the Blue Lava Wireless Java games before that, the week before that. This week, I'm still going to do a game I passed over. And if you go back and check out, I did a Ryan Rambles on it, which is just kind of the podcast, me talking about stuff around the channels. And I did talk about how I had found options for games that I didn't think were playable. And I talked a little bit about it when we started going through all the Java games. I'm going to talk about it again this week because we'll take a break from the Java games. We'll play some Flash games instead. But when I say I don't think I knew what I was getting myself into, check this out. Tetris Friends, which was this thing that Tetris Online Inc. put out, which was the label. I'm going to start saying, you know, the Blue Lava Wireless was kind of a label. This is kind of a label. Tetris Online Inc., Tetris Online Japan, maybe a sub-label. But they started doing these companies that were kind of dedicated to a certain type of game. And in 2008 or 2009, depending, I don't know, it was around for a while after this. But this was kind of the era where the live arcade was going crazy. And that's the term I use because I was into the Xbox ecosystem. We've played Tetris Splash, which was kind of the entry over there. But this idea that games were kind of smaller, but online, sometimes just using Facebook hooks. One of the only ones that I maybe got into in this time period, my wife and I have actually had a game of Scrabble going on. We took a good long break here recently. But we had just a rotating game of Scrabble going for, we got married in 2002, figure, yeah, it would have been about this time that we started, actually, up until now. So like for a decade, we've had something like that going on. But Scrabble, like official Scrabble, which I think was also an EA Mobile thing somewhere along the lines, maybe currently, but also when I'm talking about in this era, they just used the Facebook hooks. Like you would play multiplayer, but you were just using the Facebook servers. I think it surfaced, you know, there was an app on my phone, but everywhere else it was just a Facebook game. And same with Tetris Friends. There was a Facebook game version of this. Was this like the Farmville, the heyday of Farmville and Mafia and all those maybe was around this time, or was spinning up maybe. But Tetris Friends was that, even though it ran on their own website, and I think had more features on their own website. But what I didn't know is that that became a staple. Like, there are Tetris Friends devotees, let's say, fans. The Tetris community, which maybe I'm a part of, I don't know. I come at these, like I say, when I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I come at these from almost an outsider perspective, even having played for as long as I have. I'm just not as deep in, you know, I'm barely learning how to T-spin on a semi-regular basis. So the skills aren't there. It's just, maybe I'm more enthusiast than professional. I'm not a Tetris professional, you could say. Let's move over to the browser for this one. So this is where we're at. Tetris Friends is down here in pink because it's one of the Flash games. I figured out that by way of this app, Flashpoint, and there was a website also, I think Flash Museum or something like that. I didn't test functionality, so I don't know. It works fine over here on Flashpoint, so that's what I'm going to be using. But these methods for preservation that somehow escaped my view, Tetris Stardust, we're going to take advantage of this. Tetris Walk and Burst and Twist down here even as far as 2016, which Tetris Friends was still a going concern at that point. And one of the indicators of this, there's a Tetris Wiki entry, shout out, but also you can tell when it's a serious Tetris game because it gets like a full-blown Wikipedia entry here. So some of the things I didn't know going in because I hadn't checked out this bit. The extent of my research was like I couldn't get it to run anywhere. I tried the Wayback Machine and that wasn't working. I forget what episode I included this as part of the Tetris Graveyard because I didn't think I was going to be able to play it. But when I found these apps that worked, I started digging in a little bit more. This was something that had, I think at its peak, over 1 million registered users, to give you some idea. You could compare scores with friends and the community, obviously. It was the only official Flash implementation of Tetris made by the Tetris company itself, which I think is something that even this article is careful to point out because there were so many other non-official Tetris implementations that at some point I am going to dig into because some of them are wild. But this was Tetris proper. This was officially licensed. It's going to have that little officially licensed Tetris logo on there somewhere, I'm sure. It was also the only official Tetris platform that had advertisements play before the match, and they did not stop there, you will see very soon. I'm glad I get to play this. I think in the time, there was no way I would have clocked in on this because of the ads, because of, I don't know if it's strictly speaking pay to win, but there were microtransactions. This was also that time when those things, you know, speaking of Farmville and Mafia, like that's where that money is made for sure. Playing any game mode gave the user tokens which you would then spend. So it's got this whole economy thing going on. Stuff I didn't know. Stuff I was just like, I'm not going to be able to play this. Stopped looking. None of that is in use anymore. You'll see the remnants of it, but the version that Flashpoint has archived is the version that when Tetris Online shut down, Tetris Friends then shut down and just unlocked, I forget, in fact, there's a date for it on 31st, 2019. So not even that long ago, if you don't count COVID, which adds 6 years to any math that we might do. It was kind of one of the Tetrises, and I will shout out, if you want to know how big of a deal this game was and how big of a deal it was when it shut down, even just a DuckDuckGo search here will bring up a Reddit post about alternative games you could play, People asking, did it shut down? A petition from change.org to bring back Tetris Friends now. And then there were actually some preservation efforts besides what I'm going to show you. I didn't check any of those out. I don't know about turbowarp.org here, but just to give you an idea of how, I guess, big of a Tetris this was to people and how happy they were with it. I've played a lot of Tetrises at this point. I enjoy them on many different levels, even the bad ones, and again, going back and looking at games that I never would have played, but also games that nobody would have played, and I like that. So I'm not the guy to ask about some of this. I'm not dug into the community like that. I can't compete like that. So that's what this is. That's where I'm at, in case you've ever been wondering. It should be apparent by now. A Google search will also bring up some preservation efforts here, rewritten. I don't know how far that got necessarily. He seemed a little inexperienced, so I don't know if he actually made it work. But then I found this video on YouTube, actually, The Death of Tetris Friends. It seems like an entry in a series called Tetris History. It seemed like a live stream edit by this fellow Garbo. But he was the one that gave me the idea that, oh, this was actually more of a going concern than I think I knew it was at the time. This is what he called just this screenshot here, the Tetris Trinity at the time, which we're going to play all of these eventually. So that's a little bit about what's been going on in my mind as I now try and enter the conversation. I've got it set up here by way of that app I mentioned, Flashpoint. I've plugged in my Xbox remote. I'm using a gamepad mapper, so I'm not even sticking with the traditional, if I would be playing this on a keyboard if I really wanted the full experience, but I guess I don't necessarily. I've done the keyboard, I used the keyboard for all of those old Tetrises where there wouldn't have been any other option. This would have been an option even in 2000, again, 8 or 9 to some extent. So this is probably how I would have figured out to play it myself back then anyway. So I'm staying true to myself, if not the game, this time around. Okay, yes. I've got the options screen up so we can just restart it. Although it might be instructive to show you some of the options that were available still at that time before the music starts popping off here. Back in OBS this week because, again, Meld Studio doesn't have a good global option. For some reason, the audio from the Flashpoint app was not translating to, the Meld Studio, same as OBS. You can do a screen capture, and it'll usually route the audio with that capture. Sometimes it does not. So, okay, here we go. So what Flashpoint does actually is it just brings up a browser that then emulates. So I'm in the Flashpoint browser that can still do Flash as a platform somehow. It also has Ruffle support, but I don't think we're using any of that this week. But as far as I know, this is the same options you would have seen opening up Tetris Friends back in the day. And not only do we have, you can change the style of the Mino and the ghost, but also the voice. And I don't think we're getting to skin options just yet, but that would be something that the Tetris company itself took advantage of, that you're going to see. I'm excited about these things coming up, but they are ridiculous. You could go into the tuning options here, which are a little bit more, you could do a general, which is all the stuff we already saw. But advanced, you could even get into the delayed auto shift, the repeat rate, initial hold, initial rotation. You can turn these on and off for 20,000 tokens, which I would have hated. This is the stuff I would have seen like one time and been like, okay, See you later. But same with this. You could increase auto shift. In fact, why don't we just do that now for free? I don't know if I'm going to get any use out of how fast the key repeats. Sure, let's go. It was expensive, right? Let's do the most expensive version of this game. Initial hold and initial rotation, I wouldn't take advantage of them anyways. I'm not that good. So we're going to leave them as is and see how that goes. Actually, I haven't tried. Some of the options, well, let's try. Maybe this isn't the everything unlocked version. Or maybe I just have to hit click upgrade unlock to unlock. Oh, I guess that is not, although it does seem like the options are on still. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then I am just going to actually restart so we can start from the beginning on this and hope everything works. We're starting out with just marathon mode, the way that the games have been preserved, and I think Tetris online, TetrisFriends.com, presented them in this way as well. The modes appear like different games essentially, and that's how they were preserved. So we're going to play them all, but it might be some hiccups in between as I switch windows and stuff like that. One-man show over here. No stream decks to speak of. Okay, everything's working. Doesn't feel like there's no... Yeah, I think this is default key repeat. Yeah. Hold is working though. Sometimes the key mapping doesn't work because the buttons are on like enter and you know, like system buttons that for some reason the mapper doesn't, or the system probably doesn't translate super well.
Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
But again, I think I was a little bit surprised about this on earlier Flash games that we've been playing like this, because we did the Kente ranking, and we've already played a few Flash ones, some that Tetris Online Poland was kind enough to preserve. But I was impressed at how snappy, even with my Frankenstein of a, you know, with the gamepad mapper and stuff like that, like even then still felt good and snappy. This is the same. Some of the multi-input stuff has been dicey, but this, like, I can move and rotate at the same time. So it's, I thought that was a limitation of the keypad mapper, but apparently that might have been something that, well, it's hard to say because I'm still emulating and these have been preserved. It's hard to say what the original state would have been, but
back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
Okay. That's the one I was looking for.
Back-to-back Tetris.
The music is familiar, you know. I don't think this is new. I would gather we've heard this before, actually.
Back-to-back Tetris.
It's a good, inoffensive version of the song, at least. Yep. Stuff's gonna get ugly.
Triple.
speeding up more than I feel like the last Flash game I played. Still guideline, so I'm sure going to avail myself of infinite spin here at some point.
Back-to-back Tetris.
Oh, didn't wait long enough on that one. Nope. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. It looks pretty smooth too, actually. I was gonna say, I dig the look and the sound effects. Actually, it's a like I can see why this caught on. Like if this became people's official
Double.
going concern of the Tetris community, like not surprised at all.
Tetris.
Which, if you watch that video I mentioned,
Triple.
you know that you Tetris, the Tetris company took a page certainly out of Nintendo's book that was like, I mean, I guess that's a kind of a fraught history also, but when they had the seal of approval, okay, a lot of that was about keeping third parties out necessarily, but
Tetris.
it may have
Triple.
also meant that the games achieved a certain level of quality, although I think I remember some
Triple.
games with that Nintendo seal of approval not having the quality advertised necessarily, at the which point it was probably more about just keeping third parties out of the system.
Triple.
But the Tetris company, I feel like, is right there with some of that. You know, if you saw an official Tetris game with few exceptions, and they would acquire, you know, clones, unofficial clones that were worth acquiring in many instances. N-Blocks, I believe, was one of those, which was also up for Tetris Friends. It was on the Tetris Friends website.
Tetris. Triple.
But apparently, when they discontinued Tetris Friends,
Double.
and the community was like, you know, that had hit. That was one that, I don't know what the player base was like at that point, and how much, you know, it's always a toss-up how much they're catering to the hardcore versus, you know, actually making money on anything. Not sure why I did that.
Back-to-back Tetris.
But apparently this was when, you know, 2019 Tetris Ultimate came out, and I did not need a video to tell me about the issues with that game. That was a game when
Tetris.
I myself very much was looking forward to a new Tetris. That was maybe a pivotal point for me and Tetris, because I was like, you know what might be my favorite game of all time? Tetris. So I started looking up what was going on. I started buying every new Tetris game that would come out. And I mean, we'll talk about Tetris Ultimate when we play Tetris Ultimate, but it was broken in some very specific ways. But it also wasn't broken in some very unfortunate ways. So apparently that did not go unnoticed by the larger Tetris community.
Double.
I don't know if this is gonna end. Oh, I'm at 17 already. Does this have an end? Did I program the pause button into... I did, okay. I mean, I'm going to die here pretty soon anyway, so whether or not it has an end, I guess, doesn't really matter. So, also, wait till you see the end. Yep, that was not.
Triple.
Not even close. Boo.
Double. Triple.
Like I forgot about the hard part, the hard drop there when I was gabbing.
Double. Triple.
Okay, we're back. Interesting.
Double.
I will give them this in an age where, you know, like I said, this was the live arcade game. You know, there were some of the games were as slight as that name might suggest.
Double.
I don't think this is one of those, so kudos to the Tetris company for taking the space seriously and releasing something, by all accounts,
Tetris.
legit.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Double.
Oh, okay, that time. A little too quick.
Double.
There we go.
Tetris. Tetris. Double. Double. Double.
I mean, if online is the thing, I would assume this has an end. You know, it's gotta post a score to the leaderboard at some point, but I guess it can do that when I die as well.
Double. Double.
Ooh, it's got
Double.
cascading sound effects for
Double.
combos. Let's see, oh dang it. I was gonna say, let's see how much of a combo I can get going. I think we have our answer.
Double.
Yeah, it is. Like, I get it. This is solid. I keep expecting there to be like some hiccups or
Double.
hesitations or something, but
Double.
even just in this state, preserved, you know, I guess shout out to Flashpoint as well. Seems to be great.
Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
Oh, I was trying to set up a T-spin. You know what? Now I'm just like, would I have got into earning tokens? I guess it depends. Like, if I don't know why I did that. If this was my first game of real Tetris Friends, and I came away with like an amount of tokens that made me think, oh, there might be something here. It probably would have forced me to learn about, you know, all of the bonuses. Because back at this point, I wouldn't have told you about delayed auto shift or repeat or any of that, or how it mattered, or, you know, how I would have used it. So
Tetris.
strangely enough, this game might have been the one that forced me to learn about that so that I could pay for it. It's not gonna go well.
Tetris.
Oh, come on. Oh, no, come on. Oh, I did it. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. There it is. Hey, it does recognize T-spins. Okay. But does it recognize good T-spins? Because I didn't do one.
Tetris.
Wait, at this rate, we're not. Okay, so I guess some of these are going to be skins. So we're not going to play this long of a game on every mode. And the other modes, some of them are timed. And I don't think there's any surprises necessarily. I don't think there's any game modes that weren't existing at that point. No special. Ah, dang it. I was going to try to do a T-spin again. It's too slow. Bad at setting up Tetrises in the middle.
Double. Double.
Can you go up there? No. Still can't go up there. Okay. Thanks for trying. Yeah, it's not even enough time to get over there.
Double. Double. Triple. Triple.
RNG seems great. I don't really feel like it's stranded me at all necessarily yet.
Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that was level 15. Oh, I must have misread 11 as 7. Yeah. So that's what happens. It's only preserved up until that point. And then it must have accessed a server or something like that. That's essentially where every game of Tetris Friends is going to end for us today. But so, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't set up something where you could see me scroll through the Flashpoint library here. Okay, quick and dirty. Ready? Screen capture. 5. Window capture. Flashpoint launcher. And then fit to screen. Scooch you over just a little bit there. Put you underneath my face. Nope. What the heck was that? Oh, I put it inside the group. No, go below the group. There you go. So this is the Flashpoint app I was telling you about. You can see it's like, again, each one of these was games I never thought I would play. So here's all the Tetris Friends entries. They show up separately, like I said. So neither of Sprint, Survival, Ultra are going to take as long. And then we'll get into Tetris 1989. And then we'll see the weird ones, just to give you an idea. So, oh, right. You can only have one game open at a time, right? Okay, so that's because Marathon is playing. Stop. Sprint, play. All right, let's... Oh, did that automatically open back up? No, that's weird. Anyway. All right, let's restart, get this going. Clear 40 lines as fast as you can. Uh-oh, controller's not working again. There we go. Now I gotta restart it. Oh, why does it stop working every time? Oh, now it's working. What is going on? Okay. Like, it takes a second to... Okay, hold on. Okay. There we go. Kind of. The delayed auto shift is still weird. Or something. Oh, you know what I should be trying? Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, here we go. Nope. I should be trying this. Restart. Oh, it's just if I have the key already pressed. Okay, I got it figured out. Don't worry. Okay, this is it. Again, not going to spend a lot of time on these versions, so let's just do this and see what my massive sprint score will be, and then call it a day.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
As always, the hard part's going to be stopping.
Back-to-back Tetris.
I always keep building far past the point of necessity.
Back-to-back Tetris. Double.
11 lines left.
Tetris.
We're probably
Double.
almost good here. Worthless T-spin. Yep, now we're way past the point of necessity.
Triple. Good job.
Yeah. Whoa, that was my all-time best performance. I didn't even see what the time was. That couldn't have been sub 2 minutes, right? Anyway, there's Sprint. Let's do Survival, which I don't remember. Maybe that is a new mode. It can't be. Dig the music change at least. No instructions. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. In so many ways, but also with this particular game at this particular moment.
Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
This might be the music,
Back-to-back Tetris.
best music of the stream.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
What am I? Still not sure what I'm surviving from.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
Level up.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
Okay. I have to look up what I'm surviving from because so far
Back-to-back
this is just
Tetris.
another game of marathon. I think we're good as far as that goes.
Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Tetris.
All right, let's see what I'm surviving from before things get too hairy here. Oh yeah, this also had a 8-player rally. You would race to clear all the blocks, but also it had a live, like, arena multiplayer mode where 6 played against each other at the same time. Not going to be able to take advantage of any of the multiplayer modes. Survival mode is similar to marathon mode, I'm realizing. Players have to clear 10 lines per level while scoring as many points as possible. Every line cleared is worth only 1, unlike in marathon mode. There are a total of 20 levels, so 5 more than marathon, each one at a higher speed than the last. Once all 20 levels are beaten, the player enters a bonus level. The bonus level is semi-invisible level. Blocks alternate between being visible and invisible. Okay. So I think it's that we're leveling up
Tetris.
every 10 regardless, whereas the goal changed in marathon, so this should not last as long as a marathon.
Back-to-back Tetris.
Especially if I can't get
Back-to-back
to
Tetris.
level 20.
Triple.
I wonder if the voice is... I mean, this is not... this might be a modern day thought, since AI was not the issue.
Double.
Or an issue, you know. Back in the day when AI meant the computer you were playing against and the caliber of programming that had happened there.
Double. Double.
But I wonder if the voice is an actual
Double.
person. Sounds like it. I feel like voice technology was not so advanced at this point. This is getting uglier by the minute here. Gross. I put that in the wrong spot.
Double. Triple.
Okay, we're back somewhat. Definitely speeding up though. Boo. Okay, we are not back.
Tetris.
I probably still should have put that down here.
Triple.
Something a little different about the kicks that I'm not quite grasping yet. Feels like moments where I'm thinking I will be able to, and I am not. Well, I set up a T-spin, but at what cost? Again, I just ruined it, so. At no cost, at extreme cost, even.
Double. Triple.
Okay.
Double.
It's not what I was going for. I don't know if no, it's not gonna let me put that over. Oh boy.
Double.
Yeah, this is gonna get real ugly around here. Forgot to blink. Forgot to blink. $16.
Double.
That might be it right there.
Double. Double.
Nope, that was bad. Ooh. Doubly bad. No. On to the next piece before it's locked in.
Double. Double.
That was fun. Ah, did it again. Keep trying to move along before it's really locked in.
Double. Double. Tetris.
Okay, we're back.
Back-to-back Tetris.
Oh, and we're on 20.
Double.
I might survive. Survival mode.
Double.
Oh, that locked quick. Unlocked bonus level. Let's do this madness. Oh yeah, I see. Slowed it down for me though. That's not gonna help.
Double.
Ah, that was not right. Losing track of where the pieces are. Probably should have put that on the right.
Triple.
That wasn't right. I don't remember.
T-spin mini.
Okay. I don't think that was right at all. It's becoming more and more invisible. I don't remember. Does this just go? Shoot. Oh my gosh, did I just set up a Tetris? I did. Nope, no idea at this point. I mean, I can kind of tell when it like stops moving. It gives me the ghosts, actually. Oh, yep, should have done that the other way. Oh, that seems bad. Ooh, yep. Can you go over there? You can go over there. I have no idea at this point.
Good job.
31 lines on the bonus level. I feel like that's not nothing, as opposed to much of the rest. All right. What are we doing here? Yeah, we're coming up on the hour. Survival Ultra is the last traditional mode, and then we're going to get into the weirdos. And Ultra should be easy. That's just it's another timed mode, right? It is strange that it comes up for a second. It must just be in the split second before it changes the title of the browser window. Yeah, 2 minute time limit. Two minute time limit. Yet another song.
Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. T-Spin Mini. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris. Back-to-back Tetris.
16 seconds to go. See if I can get 2 more Tetrises.
Back-to-back Tetris.
Oh, I don't have a...
Back-to-back
I did.
Tetris.
Now we just go crazy.
Good
No, we don't,
job.
because I couldn't get any more in there. 44 lines cleared and white screen. How did I do? Shy in the chat. Lots of Versus Masters grew up on this game. I can tell you that. Yes, I talked about that at the top of the show. I didn't know. Like, I thought this was like some Flash game that was out there for a bit, and but then I dug and I found a video, and I was like, oh, this is a bigger deal than I thought it was. So I've lost track of how many times I go into playing one of these games like, I hope none of the pros show up. They're going to be disappointed. But Shy's a pro, and now Shy's probably been disappointed from time to time, actually, now that I think about it. So, sorry. But this is where it gets weird. So, while I set this up here. Actually, this one's not as weird. This one makes more sense. This one's also preserved on Tetris Online Poland dot whatever that is, org, com, zone. This is Tetris 1989, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I'm guessing this wasn't huge amongst the Versus Masters. Alexis in the chat, TGM player here. Good job there on survival mode. I hope so. It was good for me. I'm a TGM lover. I don't think I play as often as I certainly should. Shy and I, what was that? TGM 2? Did we get into? Did we versus? I got an all clear out of nowhere, much to Shy's and my own surprise. Shy in the chat, how long do we have until Puyo Puyo Tetris? I mean, we're in, depending on who you ask, 2008 or 9 on Tetris Friends is kind of when it launched. I think it launched in beta first in 2008, and then in 2009 was like the official date. But you're going to start to see how Tetris Friends was skinnable, not just by the Tetris company, but this was one of the ways they did it. Although this has got, it also restricts, like if you go into the actual controls, which don't function at all. Not sure why I hit that button. Hold on. Let's try this again. Huh. Well, I went into them earlier. It's basically the same options, except there's less of them. And there's less buttons to do less things because they are emulating the 1989 type. So I don't think type A, type B, that's not changed. You know, I love it because we're talking Nintendo here, entertainment system. But I think we can just play, what the heck, let's do the worst possible combination. Let's see how it goes. So it's just a good old homage, really. There's no block delay, so you're gonna die quickly. I'm gonna die quickly. And white screen, yes. Yeah, he annihilated me. I did not annihilate Shy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, when I got that all clear out of nowhere, you were taken aback, I will say, but I think you probably still schooled me on that game. But then, yeah, TGM 3 blew me away. First time I ever played that, and how much that's an incredible game, still at the top of the list. Which once I get to 100 episodes of this thing, I'll be doing like a top or a favorite 5 or something like that. So that's Tetris 1989. They could skin Tetris Friends, but they could also skin it in a lot of stupid ways, which I love, but I've heard the term advergaming passed around, and I can't remember now exactly where I saw that, but Tetris Friends was something, I gather, that they could shop to companies and they could skin the game, add their own sound effects, music, and sometimes gimmicks. I'll do the most gimmicky one here up top. And then it was an advertisement. Like I said, Tetris Friends was also the one where they would play ads before the games. It was the first one where they would do that, and boy, did they take that all of the way here with Acorn Drop. Not even for the first Ice Age movies, which I'm not like an Ice Age movie hater. But the crazy thing is it plays like as well as Tetris Friends, so it's like it's a good Tetris game, but also it's just a big ad for Ice Age. With the music and everything. I can't remember, like I said, I'm not an Ice Age hater. In fact, I remember really liking the first one, but couldn't tell you anything about, what is it, Dawn of the Dinosaurs there? The dude hops out. Level up, now I have to collect 80 acorns, which, I mean, I guess if like the spaces had, like every Mino has an acorn, so it's not like there's any strategy there going on. I'm still just playing normal Tetris. The acorns are just, I guess they're not technically lines because I'm getting 1 acorn per Mino. This is so stupid. I think TGM3, Shy in the chat, would have blown you away a bit more if we didn't experience the artifacts of Windows emulation. Yeah, that's true. Good thing you were there, actually. You helped me figure that out, because I was going into that stream like, I guess this is the best I can do. And it was still running at like, whatever that would have been, 400% or something like that. And then you had the bright idea of turning my global, because emulation doesn't let me turn down the screen refresh. But if I just turn down normal refresh, it worked. But then it was me playing TGM. I, played enough to know that was a fantastic game, probably for the time and still. But Shy in the chat, what the hell is this? I swear if this ad game has 20G, I'm gonna lose it. I think it does. Like I said, this is like, it's still Tetris Friends at its core, so it's like actually a good Tetris game. It's just stupid also at the same time. If you learn nothing from this series of videos that I'm making, learn that things can be good and stupid at the same time. That would be my message to you. I'll stop playing this in a second. I'll stop playing this when it gets old. Because it's just Marathon, and we've already played Marathon. And I'm guessing this is going to go until 15, just like Marathon. Which, I'm going to say, no, it doesn't have 20G, actually. Survival might have had 20G. But this doesn't, I don't think it takes it all the way. Not that I would know. I just sit there spamming infinite spin. Okay, I'm not really paying attention here. So that's Acorn Drop. I need to see if this has 20G. Oh gosh. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I will get us, will I? Now I need to get 100 acorns, but that's okay, because each line has 1,000,000 acorns in it. Okay, maybe this doesn't last so long. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Speed things up here. It is a little weird, I will say, the skin. Like, I almost can't see. That might also be user error. Did that say bushel up? Have I been... I can barely read it, it goes by so quick. It's saying bushel up, isn't it? This is so dumb. I love it. If this game has 20G, PowerPoint has no excuse not to feature this 20G in its marathon mode. I'm guessing that was not PowerPoint. Sorry, I read that as PowerPoint. What are we on? Level 8. Bushel 8. It does say bushel. Bushel up. That should enter the Tetris lexicon. Bushel up. Okay, hold on here. 20G. We'll figure it out. Might be painful, but we'll get there. Oh, not sure why I did that. All this bushel up nonsense. This does appear to be going faster. Maybe this isn't, strictly speaking, what was going on with Marathon. It's probably somewhere in between Marathon and Survival then, because we're getting so many acorns. Maybe. I don't think so. I'm really losing track here. Hold on. There we go. Oh, read that wrong. Also, for a guideline game, they sure did away with the colors on this one. Still not 20G. What was the rat's name? Is it Scrat? I think it was Scrat. Like they figured out he was the star of Ice Age very quickly. Which, to be fair, his little bits were pretty good. Again, in the first Ice Age movie. No idea after that, really. Still not 20G. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Shoot. Boing. The music isn't horrible. I mean, it is, but it's great. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is not 20G. Again, I'm no professional, but new high score! White screen. You want to visit the official website? If this game has, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Alexis in the chat, I wish more Tetris games had 20G gameplay. It's a much overlooked play style. Too many people are intimidated by it and feel that, I feel, and that's a shame. I'll agree with that. Myself being one of those people intimidated by it over time. I mean, I should play it without infinite spin maybe, but it's not as scary, I think, as I first envisioned. Certainly before I started this series. Okay, so that's maybe the silliest the advergaming gets. Some of these, so I have one for Foot Locker, Coca-Cola, and Burger King. And I don't know where they came from. Like, I can't find any record, again, having done a cursory search, that like these were in use somewhere. I think they were because they seem pretty full featured, although the Foot Locker one's pretty slight. I'll show you Burger King's kind of the silliest one.
Go.
Where'd you go? There you are. And again, I think it's just marathon mode. I don't think there's anything special about this one at all. The skin's not bad, I guess, if you're a Burger King fan. I don't hate the look of the pieces necessarily. Doesn't feel as good as Acorn Drop, strangely enough. Might be because these were not as optimized. Again, I couldn't find like where it's possible that these were like samples sent out, that they were really trying to push this advergaming and be like, look what we can do for you. And maybe they didn't get picked up. I don't know. That seems impossible. They would have done maybe this much work, or maybe that's the thing, is it wasn't that much work. But it's ridiculous either way, so. I need to find out where I read just that term, advergaming. I feel like that had more information on this, and I can't remember where I got that. And yeah, we're not even, they could have, like, why am I not, if they really want to take advantage of this advergaming, I should be like, you know, burgers instead of acorns or something. If you're gonna make a Burger King Tetris, I want it to be the dumbest possible Burger King Tetris. Don't go halfway on this stuff, you know? This does seem to be going faster. Which that would have been a smart move for the Burger King Tetris. Like, make something that people feel like they're good at the game when they play it. Here's Burger King Tetris. I can't get past the first level. That would kind of be cool too, actually. What if, yes, I mean, yes, Tetris Friends really broke out, but what if Burger King Tetris Friends was the one that, like, the pros picked up on? Like, somehow this is just the best Tetris that's out right now. Would it be less surprising than, like, half of the other things going on in the world right now? I've probably already played this longer than necessary. Is this like, this is pre Well, no. So Tetris Friends ran until 2019. So this might be like full on. I mean, I know that's the Sneak King down there, but I can't remember when those games came out for the 360. But this appears to be full on Sneak King era Burger King, which would make sense. They were definitely looking at games as advertisements then. I had all 3 of those games. You want to hear this is a great story. Hang out for this one. During the birth. Oh, you know what? It was, because I just dated it. So, my daughter was being born. And I was in the hospital. And there was a Burger King in the hospital. Oh, where hospital was this? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think we were still in... We weren't in California yet. So I was like, I mean, my wife she wasn't in any, like, she wasn't in labor or anything. I want to say the kiddo was already born even. But regardless, we were in the hospital. My wife was still in her hospital bed. And I was like, yeah, I'll be right back. And I went and bought all 3 of the Burger King Xbox games from the Burger King that was located inside of the hospital, which how American is that? That is, I just said the most American sentence ever invented. The Burger King. The Burger King was coming from inside the hospital. Yep, that's how I got to where I'm at. Buying Burger King games in the hospital while my daughter is being born. And to this day, doesn't love Burger King. For different reasons, but... Okay, we don't need to see if this has 20G, right? It doesn't. Like I said, these are all just skins. I mean, I might as well show you more stupid skins than play this. I think this is maybe the best looking. Oh, do we got buttons up here? No, we don't. Okay. Options, yeah, so it's all the same. Oh, except we don't have all the fancy for options that we had on for Tetris, actual Tetris Friends from the website. Interesting. I didn't know about the enjoy a Whopper thing at the end there. Oh, perfection. Yeah, 20G is actually a peak. The aesthetic is nice. It's not bad, right? Like, I kind of dig how that looked. The marketing team had enough of a hand in that one. Enjoy a Whopper. I think I might have to see that again. Hold on. Does it just, if you die no matter what, do you enjoy a Whopper? Enjoy a Whopper. New high score, because it doesn't save my high scores, but... Shine in the chat. The most American sentence would also include a couple guns and maybe the Imperial system. You're right. I forgot to talk about my 20-inch guns. Actually, I'm going to blame that on Burger King. It's Burger King's fault. Okay, how much sillier can we get? Like I said, the Foot Locker and Coca-Cola ones are not as fancy. But worth a look. I'll just do the Foot Locker ones, and then I'll show you Coca-Cola to wrap this thing up. It's interesting because they do stick in their own sound effects and music and stuff like that. Although this one does not. Now that I realize it's just playing the music that we had with the other ones. I think it does like... Yeah, basketball bounces though. There you go. Let's see what sound a Tetris makes, and then we'll... See, this one plays a little better than Burger King, though. Go figure. Okay, here it goes. Hey! Buzzer beater. Oh, what's a single do? Yeah. What, is that a gunshot? applause. It's not coming through great. Anyway, Foot Locker Tetris. The only reason I know Foot Locker is because of Tekken 6. I thought it was a fake brand at first. You know what? Agreed. Foot Locker has probably reached generic status. They've been around long enough. The Tekken movie, good gosh, I haven't tried that. I remember I didn't hate the Tekken movie. Like, I don't know if it's not as good as the Mortal Kombat movie, but I remember like shades of it because they went as far as to include the tournament. It wasn't like did DOA have the tournament? I have to revisit DOA. DOA is by a director I really like, but I remember not enjoying that movie immediately, to say the least. Okay, Coca-Cola Tetris. Way to round out the day. That is the last of these, right? Yeah, that's the last of these. Way to round out our Advergaming block.
Go.
That is not the one I wanted to click. This one at least has a version of... It's like the Coca-Cola song, I want to say, right? Like from one of their ads. Oh, it's got the bubbles, the little bubble effects there too. Why is this music ringing a bell? Bloop, bloop. If it's from like a Coca-Cola ad and I have that song, like if a Coca-Cola ad has penetrated my mind that much that the song... Oh, it kind of does the wavy little logo there too. Again, at the time I would have been like, this is stupid. And now I'm like, this is stupid. Sorry, at the time I would have been like, this is stupid, I don't like it. Now I'm like, this is stupid. I love it. Loop. It is. It's got to be from like one of their ads. It is. I'm going to have to look it up now. Coca-Cola or something like that. I hate everything about that. And it's back. No graduating tones for combos. So the actual legit Tetris Friends is actually still the way to go. But there is something so slight about this that it's almost like it was a proof of concept or something. Like they sent this to Coca-Cola and they passed on it. But then again, how would I have it then? How would somebody have preserved it at all? Anyway. Tekken movie is horrible. Jin doesn't start World War III, 0 out of 10. If they remade... Yeah, because that was... I'm going to say 2000s, right? So that was definitely pre-MCU, which say what you will about the MCU. I think it did a lot for respecting video game and comic book franchises in a way, you know, like the Mortal Kombat movie is a fluke. And it's good for, again, maybe some bad reasons. You know, it's campy in the extreme. But otherwise, when they would make, you know, like a comic book or a video game movie, it wasn't, if it was made by anybody that respected the genre or the franchise, they were overruled by people who didn't, you know, like, and I'm not gonna, we don't need to cite extreme examples like the Captain America movie or et cetera, et cetera. There's plenty of bad video game movies out there. Everybody knows it. Everybody can think of one. It's basically a joke at this point. Video game and comic book movies. Then the MCU comes along, and not only is it just a masterclass in adaptation, you know, some of those classic comic book stories that they changed in all of the right ways to put them on the screen. But it's also done by people who respect those stories and that medium and all that stuff, you know. Tekken was made when that wasn't quite the case yet. I feel like if the Tekken movie was made nowadays, they would include something like that because they understand that's why people love Tekken, you know. It's not like a thing we're all embarrassed about in the Tekken game, and if you make a movie about this, please leave it out because, you know, that's silly. It's like, no, that's fantastic. That has to go in the movie. So I don't know. I remember not hating the Tekken movie, but it certainly wasn't anything that it seemed like respected the source material all that much. T-spin, a bubbly T-spin. All right, we've done it. We've done it. Coca-Cola Tetris, thank you, but no thank you. There you go. The craziness that was Tetris Friends. Never thought I'd play it. Found it. Was apparently revered by the pros, I'm just going to call them. And was quite a thing when it was killed in favor of... If you go watch that video again, it's... Shai, are you familiar with Garbo? That was just the name of the guy that had the video that I saw where he kind of explained where the community and the hardcore community, so again, the fact that the Tetris company was discontinuing Tetris Friends probably speaks to the fact that, you know, to the larger money-making community, maybe the time had passed, but the hardcores were still all over it, and when they announced it was being canceled, they gave some overture of like something new is coming. So there was like some hope among them that the new thing that would take the place of Tetris Friends would come up, and instead it was like there was like a Hello Kitty, which I searched for. I would like to play the Hello Kitty Tetris. In fact, yeah, Flashpoint. Why is that not? But it was just a skin of Tetris Friends again, it seemed. So didn't quite do what they were looking for. And then I can't remember. Again, this is 2019, so this isn't even that far away. But anyways, go watch that video. Garbo's got a video out. History of Tetris Friends. Informative enough that I'm talking about it right now. Otherwise, I think that's Tetris Friends. Anything else would be a skin and any other flash. Tetris Stardust was in 2009. That was a Japan-only release, but I don't think that's a straight-up skin of Tetris Friends. So we'll look at that. I don't know where that falls, but that brings us back up to 2009, essentially with games we've missed, except for one. So next week, I finally did it. I opened up my eBay box of the new Tetris. This is the only one I could find, actually. I would have been happy with just the cart, but apparently not as possible. From a reputable enough seller, it seemed. So I went with the collector's special, I guess. I mean, it's not like in good condition. I'm not going to slab that thing or anything, but the cart works. And I know that because I've made a video already wherein I unbox the Analog 3D and I unbox this guy from eBay. And then I basically just boot up the home screen because I'm going to play it next week on the stream. So this is the Tetris for next week. Sorry, Shy, not quite. We're not progressing as fast as maybe we should. But this one's been outstanding for some time. I don't know if it's actually outstanding, but it's been unplayed as far as the chronological trip through Tetris goes here on Tetris Tuesdays. So that'll be next week. Should be easy breezy. The Analog 3D. Oh, this is what I should tell you. I made a video where I unboxed the Analog 3D. That's dropping on Friday. So tomorrow, Chasers comes out. If you're into comic books, that's over on the Chasers channel, but you'll find a link over on this channel as well, up in the latest playlist. Just go visit the homepage. And then it's labeled as a run boxing, etc., which is the videos where I unbox something usually, and etc. That will come out on Friday at 8 a.m. So lots of stuff dropping this week. That's, if you count this stream, three things. 3 things, not 3 things. I think it's time to go. So thanks for hanging out, everybody that did. Alexis, good to meet you. Shy, thanks for showing up. Hope everything's going all right. Hope to see you next week. And if you need to find me, I'm at all the socials or Discord. We've got it. In fact, you know what? I've retooled my own Discord with Patreon. They have the hooks in there where if you sign up for any tier, you get you like rolled into the Discord automatically. I'm a Discord dork, so I don't know. I'm old. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know like the ins and outs of Discord all that well, but I think I've retooled the Ryan Runs server somewhat so that if you are interested in these different videos and sections of stuff, we can keep the conversation going over there. But I haven't figured out a public link yet to send out. Shy and I are already connected. I was going to say disconnected on Discord. Connected on Discord. But I should get that link out there so more of us can join in and have fun. And also not bring it up at the end of a 90-minute stream where only Shy is going to hear about it. So I will post that on the socials if you are able to find me there. I don't, like I throw the stuff out on Twitter just because I throw it out on everything, but I only really engage on like Blue Sky or Threads or I guess Facebook. If you leave a comment, I'll probably see it eventually, but Discord might be the easiest way to get at me directly nowadays, strangely enough, for somebody that doesn't know Discord all that well. So that's where we're at. Thanks for hanging out again and always and forever. See you next time.